All right, so I'm gonna mute for now.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. um, we are going to talk about The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. This is one of our Swana authors that we picked for this month. And first of all, say hi, Sharon.
Hey, how you doing?
Say hi, Faith. Hi. Say hi, audience.
Hey.
Hi. um, and this book was so good. It was one of those books where I'm like, I have to do other things. I have other things that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm reading this book. And it was so good. I really wish we had a chance to sit down with the author because I want to know, well, I know what inspired her. So let's just get into it. The story is based on the tale of Sherazade. So if you're not familiar with the tale of the Arabian Nights, it's the tales of 1001 Arabian Nights, and they are a collection of fairy tales from the Middle East, North Africa, India, and some are even from China and Greece. And so there are all this collection of stories. And the story of Sherazade is how she convinced the Sultan to spare her life by telling him a different story every night. And by the time the stories were done, he had fallen in love with her. Now, here's where the book picks up. It's the aftermath, as it were. Mm-hmm. What happens after he falls in love and they get married? And so we pick up, I want to say 18 years later, maybe?
It's 18 years later.
18 years later, after Sherazade has passed in the story, and her son, Mazin, is now not the crown prince, which is very important detail. Mm-hmm. He's not the crown prince. He is the spare, as it were. Mm-hmm. But he is the beloved spare. Mm-hmm. It's not a Prince Harry situation. Mm-hmm. He's an actually well-loved spare child. Mm-hmm. And he longs for adventure, and he longs to be out of the palace. And then you have Layla Al-Naziri, aka Luli. And Luli is the midnight merchant, a beautiful and mysterious merchant who trades in ancient relics that she has found all around the desert and all around the world, where she has gone, and she and her bodyguard Kadir find these relics, and they clean them up, and then they sell them on the black market. Obviously, these two are going to meet. How they meet is interesting. And let's just say that Mazine very quickly comes to the realization to be careful what you wish for. Because he asked for adventure and he got adventure. I don't know if it's what he wanted.
No, it's not what he wanted.
Not at all. But he certainly got the adventure. So, first of all, we're being blendered by Baltimore City.
We apologize.
And we apologize. First of all, let's so that's the basic premise. Let's talk about the setting. And I'm just gonna go around. I'll start with you, Sherry, and I'll pass to you. Yes. Sherry, what did you think of the setting of the story and how it was done?
The world building of this book is very well done.
Yes.
As I've told you when I started reading it, this is definitely out of my normal realm of what I would normally pick up to read. But you do get a sense of place and a very good sense of when in time you are with this story. And you also get a good sense of almost the why everything is the way it is.
Yes. Yeah, I think the same. I think it does a great job. There's points where I'm like, I could feel the grit.
Yes.
Of the sand.
Yes.
On
feel
me.
The heat
of the sun. And the cold.
Yeah.
At night. What about you? What were you?
It's definitely a desert story in the Middle East or Middle Asia or whatever. You're not really sure where it is, but it seems like Saudi Arabia. In fact, Arabian Nights fits it very well.
Yeah.
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 Because you have a sultan and you have all these mysteries. It's almost like, what was that Disney movie?
Aladdin?
Aladdin.
Yes.
That feels.
Yeah. But I would feel this
But
is
that's
far
what
more terrifying. Exactly. I was going to say
Yeah.
far more terrifying than Aladdin.
Definitely. Definitely.
I'm like things. I'm trying to like. I was saying to my husband, I'm like, I need you to read this book. I was like, I need you to read it and I need you to discuss it because there are so many like there are things that happen. I was like, oh God, no, no. Like then he was like, what is happening on this side of the and I was like, things went from hell to fire. Like everything
Literally.
at one point, yes.
Yes.
Quite literally. What did you think about the world building and how they
Mhm.
used how she used her descriptions to really give you a feel?
I could feel walking through the marketplace. It's
Oh,
like
yes.
feel walking through the marketplace and the crowd of the people. I could almost smell
Yes.
the
Food. Oh,
and
made me
the
so
hunger.
hungry.
That is true. That is true. I was just thinking that.
And feel the material, the clothing, the scarves and all
Yes,
that.
they are very descriptive
It
with that.
was,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, okay, this is very, very nice. But at the same time, there's a couple characters that's like, oh, please don't get a captivity. I fell in love with the characters as soon as I was introduced to it. Was like, please don't let anything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm reading the book, right? So
I'm gonna know.
I'm gonna know, but please don't let it.
Yes. There was one character, and I was like, I really don't want him on this trip. I really don't want him on this trip. I really don't want him on this trip. He's going. He's going. Yep, he sure is. And it's not gonna end well. But we're here now. So let's perfect segue. Let's talk about the characters. Our two main characters are Mazine and Luli. I think this is more Mazine, Aisha, and Luli are our main characters. And at first, I was going to say that this is a growing up story for Mazine, but it's not. It's for all three of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is they had to grow.
They're growing through this adventure. This adventures are teaching them what they needed to learn and what they need to know about life
outside of the bubbles.
outside of the bubble, what they need to know about their world, be able to see the bubble, about to get real matrixy right now. They can see it and try to interpret it and figure out what it is they need, how they
Need to move.
how they need to move.
Yeah. I thought that they did because at first, when I was first reading it, I was like, okay, so this is about Luli, and I was like, no, it's not just about Luli. It's about Mazine. It's about Aisha. There's a reason that there are 3 point of view characters in this book because all three of them, in my opinion, have allowed the convenient lies that they have told themselves and have been told to them to make their decisions. And they're all very young. I think that that's one of the things you don't really realize until you're halfway through the book, that they're all really young. Mazine is obviously young, but they're all young. Luli and Aisha have seen a lot of terrible things.
Yeah.
And those lies protected them.
Yes.
But in order for them to grow into the people that they need to be, they had to let those lies fall away. So who is your favorite character so far? Because you're not done yet.
No, I'm not. I guess right now it's Louis and Mazine is in there, but and then the Aisha, she's starting to show.
Yeah.
Because I think they're in the sand. I'm at the sandstorm.
Oh, so you're early in this. Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes.
It's about to get so crazy from this point. I'm like, the sandstorm is just the beginning of the dominoes.
Yeah, like they look at the map and they haven't gone that far yet.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we've got to, you're at the sandstorm, which is when, and it's very symbolic, right? Because if anyone who's ever been to Arizona or Texas knows,
Texas, yeah.
when you get hit in a sandstorm, if you're not in the right protection, it will strip everything
Yeah.
away.
Paint off the cars.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was very symbolic that for those three characters specifically, their that was the first layer of that sandstorm was the first layer of them being stripped of their preconceived notions about what this was going to be.
Mhm.
Yes, I agree.
What this was going to be. Who's your favorite character so far?
Actually, hopefully I pronounced his name correctly. Karyat?
Kadir.
Kadir. Oh, I really butchered that name. But anyway, actually I was thinking, and I don't know if this is where she was going with it. It made me think of our society and the banning of books, and where you have a chance to get your scales off of your eyes and see what the real deal is, and find out the rest of the story behind everything that you have so conveniently been told and taught about these other entities who have a right to live.
Mm-hmm.
And and symbolically, like you were saying,
It's okay.
the sandstorm was like layer number one is being stripped away. He- all of them just grabbed my heart.
Yeah.
Each and every one of them. But not I always found it interesting also that his brother who drew
Omar.
the map,
Oh no, Hakeem.
it's like there's got to be something more about him, because
I really hope we're going to get into that, but yeah, I will say I really hope we get more from Hakeem in the next book.
because Aisha,
Mm-hmm.
she said something I thought was very interesting. If he is stuck in the palace, and she said,
This is recent.
"This is recent. How in the world, if he's stuck in the palace?" So it's like, okay, you dropped a little nugget there.
And I don't want to spoil anything because so let's talk about Mazine's family.
Oh,
And we're gonna have to talk around this so much. This is gonna be like Dune all over again, guys. For those of you who watched us break down Dune books to movie, for Pete, who has not read a single Dune book, and for as opposed to Armand and I, I've read all of them, including the Brian Herbert ones, and Armand's read all the Frank Herbert ones. So we were doing a lot of talking around information while still trying to get him to understand what was happening. We're about to do this right now. So there's the Sultan, who I'm going to say, having finished the book, like many rulers and many parents, for good or ill, is ruled by fear.
Agreed.
He is so afraid of losing his son.
yeah.
And he's so afraid of that he created his own monster. He's so afraid of losing of his children not being who he thinks they should be, or how he thinks they should be. Also, good job not spoiling for me because I made a guess. So this one had finished before I did.
Well, I'm still. That's why I'm saying I need to get my own copy, because I'm old fashioned. It's something
about reading a book. Yeah, about hold it
and smell it.
Yeah. But I need a guess about some characters' parentage, their real parentage.
Oh, yeah.
And I got the wrong character. She knew.
Mhm.
She was like, "Oh, you're wrong." She didn't say no. She didn't say that. She was like, "Oh, that's interesting that you would think that."
Mhm.
Mm.
I understand. I got
You're
that.
wrong in another way.
Wait, she was like, "That was very interesting." I was like, "Am I right?" She's like, "I'm not telling you." Just like that. I am not telling you. But um,
Oh my God.
it's one of those situations, and you know what it actually reminded me of, and it happens so much in mythology. And I think it's in every mythology. It's Joseph and his brothers
Mhm.
in the Old Testament. It's um, it's the story of the fall of Troy in Greek mythology. It's the Epic of Gilgamesh. And if you go back and you look at all of these things, one of the threads are you're so busy trying to stop something that you're creating the thing that's going to destroy you.
All day.
Yeah.
Every single time you're so busy
Mhm.
instead of just loving your children. Which is a lesson that seems to be. I hate the fact that we're going back. Literally, these stories are based on things that were written thousands of years ago,
Mhm.
and the lesson is still just love your kids.
Yeah.
Just love your kids.
Mhm.
Whoever they are, however they are, whatever their gender is, whatever their beliefs are, love your kids. That's all you have to do. Hand for this mess, whether it's in this story, whether it's in what happened with Joseph and his brothers, whatever it's in what happened in the Epic of Gilgamesh, whether it's the fall of Troy. It all boils down to love your kids. I mean, Oedipus's daddy got himself and everybody around him killed because he was so busy worrying about a prophecy. And, it would have just been stopped if you just loved your kids. Which is funny because the Odyssey's coming out in a month?
No, July.
In July.
It comes out in
Yeah.
July.
This story is so his father, the Sultan, is very much ruled by a sense of fear, and it's so relevant to the world we live in today. Then you have Mazine. You are getting buzzed up. She's like, I hate being popular.
I think I've worked in open mics too long because the first thing I did when I sat down was turn the ringer off on my phone.
Same. I was like, yeah, you're like, I'm about to mute this thing right on. There you go.
There we go.
Then you have, so where are you with the brothers? Have you, what part of you're at the top of the adventure? I don't want to spoil for the audience.
Obviously, the high prince, so the
Omar, yeah, the High Prince, yeah.
neat piece of work.
Oh, honey, you have only just begun.
Scratch the surface.
He's not gonna go up, he's gonna go down.
Oh, yes,
He's gonna go down the runway, but Mazine has, potential.
yes,
And Louis,
Luli.
and Ashford, those two they're kind of different, but yet I'm really interested in seeing where they go.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, the Kadeem, he's that.
Oh, I love
I don't
him.
even know how you pronounce it. Jen.
The Jin.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is an interesting. He's quite.
I love how they established the brothers in the storyline. So they did a really interesting thing. She did a really interesting thing by we see the brothers through how other people see them and how Mazine sees his brother. And the fact that there is always a low level fear when he's around his brother tells you everything you need to know about how they were raised.
Agreed. Yes. Yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic that I'm like, I don't trust him because Mazine doesn't trust them. Whether he wants to admit it to himself or not, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
I think that's pretty obvious to me.
And he wants to trust him. That's the part that's so heartbreaking. He wants to trust his brother. But I'm like, you shouldn't.
Yeah, that right from the beginning.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust it.
Not at all. There is, so the Sultan is trying to and I get where he's coming from. He's trying to protect his citizens, but one of the things that has comes up over and over and over in the thing, and I wonder if you notice this too, is that Mazine says, when my mother told these stories.
Yes, I did catch up on that.
And he repeats it over and over again. She never painted the jinn as evil.
No, she never did.
She never paints them as evil. So why is his father so dead set?
Yeah.
There's okay.
Well, we know part of why.
We know part of why. Because what they believe the jinn has done.
Right. What we think they've done.
Right. And
because we're in the stories that were told.
Yeah. But I also, there was I want to make mention that I finished this book in January. So I'm dredging everything back from like 3 months ago.
Yes.
But it's, they are kind of fighting what they have been told against what they are seeing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really good way of putting it. And that's one of the themes of this book, I think, which is you can hear there. It's not wrong to listen to the stories you've been told, but you have to balance the information you have been given against what you're seeing in your day to day.
Exactly.
I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. We all have some built-in prejudices that we would prefer not to have. I know I do. I have to work against them every single day. But at what point do you go, but this is not the person I'm dealing with right here, right now on the ground? And please don't come with that, well, they're one of the good ones mess. Because that actually is a plot point in this story. There's good and bad of everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody's got a little bit of good and bad in them. So it's not necessarily quote unquote one of the good ones. It's everybody, because there are two sides of the story. And without spoiling too much, there are the jinn, there are the humans, and there's actually three sides, and there's everything in between, because we're finding out that there's more than just what we thought going on in this world.
That sounds familiar.
Yes.
There are more entities in play. There's more in heaven and earth, Horatio, than has been dreamed of. There's more in play than just the jinn and the humans in this thing. But both sides have in all honesty, both sides have reasons to genuinely hate each other's guts.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair thing, because
It's very fair.
As far as we know, one side has been ruthlessly destroying whole villages.
Agreed.
And the other one is just indiscriminately killing jinn.
Right.
So they have now the issue is that only at least maybe one or two people know that it's not that black and white, and they don't seem to care.
There's some serious shades of gray.
There's
variations of gray.
Yes. More gray than anybody needs to see.
Yeah.
Very true.
So speaking of shades of gray, let's talk about Luli. She did a lot of growing up in this book.
She did.
What was your favorite Luli moment so far, since you're not quite done?
I don't know if I would say it's a favorite, as much as to say that I think it was very eye-opening to her is when she got
talk around it. How do we talk around it?
She got information that was very eye-opening from someone that she had cared for and trusted. That was
changed her entire worldview.
Shook up her whole perspective about so much.
Yes. And
and as I said, it was hurtful, but at the same time, she needed to know this.
mhm, mhm.
She needed to learn this.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that I really liked about the story is that everyone, even Kadir,
Mhm.
has to learn. Um, and there's a moment where Luli learns that information that you're speaking of, and it rocks her foundations.
Mhm.
You haven't gotten to that part
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, but it hinted at because he won't talk about
Yep.
things.
Yes.
So there's a
Mhm.
hidden background that he just doesn't want to go into.
Mhm.
Exactly.
He suffered greatly.
Ooh,
And when she finds out the why of the suffering, it changes her entire perspective
Mhm.
on everything she thought she knew.
Right. That's true.
And um Kadir, oh, I love Kadir so much. I keep seeing, I'm like, I love this character so much, and I keep my brain starts cinematically trying to do it. I'm like, first of all, it needs to be a series. If you can make Game of Thrones and Hot D, you can make this a series.
Yeah. The problem with this book is, what if you were going to try to adapt it, as you can see here, I'm going to just pick it up for a moment. This is a thick book,
Yeah, and this is just part one.
and this is just part one. This is a trilogy,
Yep,
and let's see how good I am. There we go.
you did it.
So
No,
we're in a situation where a 2.5 hour movie would not,
not at all.
not at all. You probably get about a third of the way through the book,
The first book at that.
the first book, and a lot of this book is world building.
Yep.
Yes,
It's so
but it's not world building that drags.
it's not dragging world building.
No.
It's kind of
Right. It's definitely it's required, the
Mhm.
world building. It will probably pay off a little bit more
Down the line.
as you get into the next two books. But there's no way that you could put
Ooh.
that into a 2.5 hour movie. And I say 2.5 hours. I know they're making 3.5 hour movies, but 2.5 hours is my sweet spot.
Yeah.
But
not putting intermissions in them like they used to.
yeah,
Like Lawrence of Arabia and
Mhm.
Dr. Zhivago had intermissions.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're not doing that anymore because when we like I've seen all the Dune movies and TV series and everything else. Like I'm a Dune head for
Mhm.
reals. And
Mhm.
I very much was like, I am not going to the bathroom.
Mhm.
I'm not eating anything before we go into this theater. I'm not drinking any water. And I want to sit with these characters. I want
Mhm.
this to be a television series. I think this would be amazing. And my brain keeps seeing, well, also because why wouldn't you cast him and everything? I keep seeing Dev Patel as Kadir
Mhm. I can see that.
because he's got that, he's old enough that you would believe he is wise, but he's young enough that you would believe he's immortal.
right.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I keep seeing
And
Riz
he
Ahmed. Yes, I
Yeah.
keep seeing Riz Ahmed as Omar,
The
the old High Prince.
yes, I just said again. Remember, I said
Mhm.
I finished it in January.
And so I just this book is so cinematic. And one of the things I love that you put it that way, it's world building without it being dragging.
Yeah.
Because again, as somebody who has read, I have read Lord of the Rings, I've read the Silmarillion, I have read the Odyssey, I have read the Bible, I've read um the the Dune books. I know about world building, y'all,
Mhm.
and I know how it can drag. Try to get through Chronicles. I dare you. Try. I dare you.
Mhm.
I've done it multiple times, but it's rough, yo. It's rough going. It's information you need to know to understand what happens later on, but it's rough. And so, Cimarrillion is the same thing. Like our mom was like, I knew you were hardcore when you were like, so I had the Cimarrillion and my copy is falling apart, so I'm gonna put that on my birthday gift list. And he was like, why?
Well,
For those, Yes, for those who don't know, the Silmarillion is basically the Book of Kings Chronicles and for the Lord of the Rings. I mean, yeah, it's basically this person begat that person, and this war happened, and that's what the Silmarillion is. And I've read it, and so I'm like, I know how world building can drag. This, and I think one of the reasons the world building didn't drag is because as it was the world building was happening as the story kept moving forward.
Right.
Yes.
And again, like I was saying, the way she wrote it, you can actually feel yourself.
Yes.
You could actually feel.
When she was
like
talking
you're
about
saying,
those
the sand.
dates, I was
Yes.
like, I'm hungry.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. The food, the smell, the marketplace, the closeness without it being suffocating.
Yes.
Of the other people as they're, you know.
And then when you do walk into a suffocating atmosphere, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
She does such a great job. And I think that so let's get into how would you adapt it if you were to adapt it? I think it has to be a TV series.
It would have to be a TV series, and you have to go with the production houses that are doing series right now, which is Apple and Amazon.
Yeah.
Um,
This needs to be an Apple series.
Yeah.
An Apple TV series. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Well, for one thing, they are patient
yeah.
in a way that I feel like HBO and as much as I can't say Amazon Prime, when they commit to a series, they commit to a series.
Yeah.
And so same thing with Apple TV. They are doing what is the Isaac Asimov show that they're doing?
Foundation.
The Foundation. And let me tell you,
Yes.
And
they have 3 seasons of that out. I've watched season 1.
Yeah.
I have not read the book, so I do not know.
I had read the books, and so for me, it felt slow. And then when it really kicked off, it kicked off. But it very much like P and I both read those books, and so it was like it felt like it was dragged. The performances were great, but I can't see a lot of other production houses giving it the room to breathe. The way Apple has done with that and with Silo. I can't see them doing that. Netflix used to. They don't anymore.
No, the Netflix is not giving the attention that you said about what Apple is giving them room to breathe. In most of the adaptations that Amazon has put out, at a minimum, they're getting the casting right. They're getting the storytelling right.
Yes.
They're making the edits
that need to be edited.
That need to be edited out of the stories.
Yeah.
And taking things where they need to go.
Yeah, I was very disappointed. I read the whole series of what was called The Expanse. And the 9th book took forever. But that closed it up nicely. I haven't read that.
Yeah, I feel like only the first 2. I haven't read all of them yet. I watched the series, but I haven't finished the series yet either, which I feel like that was because Sci-Fi Channel kept moving.
Last when Bezos or whoever. They kind of
clipped it.
A lot of stuff together, and it's like I could see it, but
it wasn't right there.
Seasons, I think, if they did the 4th season, then it dropped.
Yeah, and I feel like that is a concern for something like this. Please do not whitewash the casting.
Please do not.
Oh,
because
make it authentic.
Make it authentic, because you need, I'm going to say 16 to 22s for Maison, Aisha, and Luli.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, Dev Patel, Reza Ahmed. I think this is such a good, don't take this the wrong way, because the only other house that is really doing adaptations well is Marvel. I know this is not a Marvel project.
Yeah.
But Marvel would nail the casting on
They
this.
would. They would. Look at
look at the whole world. They've got.
Yeah. I'm like, the only time I feel like they've missed that with casting so far is was casting Amanda Stenberg in Children of Blood and Bone, the character she's cast as. Her being cast in the movie, yes. Her being cast as that specific character, no.
Children of Blood and Bone is on my December.
You definitely need to read it.
No, I'm going to read it. But
Children of Blood and Bone is a series of movies that are getting ready to come out.
Yeah, the first one comes out in January. The books are out.
The book is out, and I believe the next ones are coming out soon. And so Actually, two of the books are already out, so I'm really looking forward, and I'll put the links to that so you can come to Snug Books and buy them here. But it I really do not want this casting to be whitewashed. There are certain characters you can get away with with whitewashing the casting because their race doesn't matter as much as who they are as a character. So you have characters like Wonder Man. Heck, you can whitewash, you can switch Superman around.
Yeah.
Because it's not about Superman being white, it's about Superman being an alien from Krypton who is suddenly thrust onto Earth at a young age and is raised with human values and has to balance his super strength against the humanity that he has been instilled with. You can get away with certain characters like that, but with certain characters like a Black Panther, like, and I will die on this hill. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but like Iron Fist.
Iron Fist was bad casting.
But he was supposed to be cast as white. He needed to be white. Because if you read the comic books, it's one of those times where he actually needs to be white. It's a major plot in the comics because his friendship with Luke Cage helps him to get over his white savior complex.
No, okay.
So that casting actually is good casting. The writing was terrible.
Okay, so writing. I knew something was bad.
The
writing did not like. No, but I always said with Iron Fist, season 2 was so much better than season 1
because Scott Buck wasn't doing the main writing,
okay.
And Scott Buck is also the man who killed Dexter. Remember, before they rebooted Dexter season, the final seasons of Dexter were all Scott Buck, and that's when I checked out. And Scott Buck wrote the first season of Iron Fist, and I was like, so y'all just handicapped my boy, right? Okay, bad. Because that was the whole point of the character when he was originally written was we don't need a white savior. We need you to listen,
right?
All your money, throwing your money at the situation ain't helping nothing. I mean, it's a short term, but until you get to the systemic roots of what the issue is, and this is when Iron Fist showed up in the 60s. I hate that things haven't changed. But until we deal with the systemic issues, you wanting to come in here and save everybody ain't gonna do nothing for nothing. That's a band-aid when we got a tumor.
Exactly.
And so that is one of the reasons why that casting was great. And so like there's certain characters where I'm like, yeah, actually they do need to be white because that was the point of the character. This is a situation where these people need to be of Southeast Asian and Arabic descent. I will even give you Greek would work.
No, I need them. I want them all.
I want them to be Middle Eastern and Southeast Asian. Yeah. I think that it needs to be. It needs to be. Although I have a lot of friends who are Greek and Ethiopian, so that could also work. But this is something where I'm like, this book has become so precious to me, which rarely happens with new works. I'm not going to front. There's very few new works that have come out in the last 15, 20 years where I'm like, don't you dare mess it up. I will fight you. This is one of those works where I'm like, please don't mess this up. Please don't mess this up. And it might not even get option. It might not even be option. But I feel like someone would be a fool not to.
Right. I think what if it's not, and I could see it not being optioned only because the powers that be are not going to want to take how hard was it to get the Black Panther movie, and now
the character's been around longer than I've been alive.
Exactly. And with these characters and with the current relationships the United States has with the Middle East.
Yeah.
And this being a very Middle East centered book, right? I feel that we were probably 20 years away from anybody attempting to adapt this book. And it has nothing
to do it overseas.
Australia,
Canada,
New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
And you could get the landscapes in New Zealand.
Yes. Yeah. So it would not be a United States production at all. It would have to come from overseas. And it would just have to take that long for somebody to really sit with it.
Right.
and see it. That's all I got.
I mean, there's been work in South Africa. There have been people
True.
who've done productions.
Oh, and they're
I
trying.
mean, the Warrior,
The Woman King.
Woman King.
It's
Yes.
filmed in
Woman
South
King.
Korea. It's
Yeah.
a South. It was a
and,
co-production.
and there is a production, Saudi Arabia, and I know again political issues, but so many, but they are trying to get their film industry going, and their problem is they don't know how to market. Because a movie just came out about 2 weeks ago that I had no idea existed,
Hmm.
and it did not make any money, and they're blaming the star of the movie.
Oh,
No one knew it existed, y'all.
Nobody knew it existed.
You can't tell people
There
if you want
was
them to come
no
see your
marketing.
movie.
The movie was just there.
Yeah.
Omar Sharif played in Lawrence of Arabia.
Correct.
Now that, I think he was of that descent.
Correct.
Okay, because he was a key character.
Yeah. I feel like I've had this conversation before. I feel like in some ways we've gone more backwards in recent years than we had when I was growing up
Good point. Now,
in its representation.
the flip on this is the way that this could get done sooner is that Rez Ahmed or Dev Patel, probably more Rez right now because he's like in recent years he's an Oscar nominated actor.
Yeah.
If he optioned it and executive produced it, it could probably get done.
Yes.
So and then this is where we get into a case, and I do not know this actor as a person, but where you have to he would option it to play not a main character because he's too old to play the main character in question.
Yes.
And that's going to be a risk for
Yes.
that's an ego situation. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
Because I've written about this anytime we've talked about adaptations. Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. I know, no. The problem here. Yep.
No, no, because you were right. It's that he should never have been cast. He optioned it.
He
should never
optioned it.
cast himself.
He never should have cast himself as Reacher. I feel that Tom Cruise is an amazing actor. He's a very good actor. I feel that for whichever book he optioned, I have never seen either one of these movies. I've read the books. If he had not optioned himself as Reacher and played the villain,
that would have been perfect.
He would have played the villain, or there's two roles. The villain on all Lee Child books. There's the villain, and then there is the
support.
No, I'm just going to call them in general the victim. Not the murder victim, but like, I need your help helping me get my town or me away from the villain.
Right.
Tom Cruise could have done either one of those two roles.
Yep. And
As
then
a
launch
supporting
someone
actor.
else's career as Reacher.
You're talking about with this.
Oh, he played Jack Reacher in the movies.
In the movies.
And it was not good. If you've read the Reacher books, you will understand why Alan Richardson was the perfect casting for that character.
It's so good.
He's so good at
So
the character
good.
on the TV series.
I would step out on the limb that if Tom Cruise had done either one of those two roles, he would have got his Oscar.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, he would have.
I think he messed up the second fighter jet thing.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. The second one was like, no. He had to play the hero. And
Yes.
should have been the old wise man, you know.
And he's not, and at 60 something, because he just did the last Mission Impossible. I know he's 61, 62, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
No idea.
He needs to move to the wise mentor roles. And I feel like, and
his ego.
he's not ready mentally to take that switch. I know, but if he would do that, I feel what he would be offered would be opened up to him.
Yeah.
Because he's done interesting work in the past. Magnolia, Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And so he's done the interesting work. I'm like, you can do the interesting work, but you can't be the star.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point. If we had whoever options this, if it gets optioned, I I think that they have to pull a Image Comics.
Mhm.
For those who don't know, Image Comics, they own their IP.
Mhm.
Right. And I was going to just mention that because as I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about, what I've read so far, I just want
Chelsea Abdullah,
to be
the one that owns
in
her
the
IP.
thick of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't do nothing
Yes.
unless she approves of
of
because
it.
it's such a nuanced
Yes.
and she's such a well done book.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she's Kuwaiti. And so like for her, I really, yeah. And I think that's also a huge part of it. She understands her culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe you should listen to her. And what I was thinking, so to the Image Comics thing, the old guard, the old guard movies that are on Netflix, they were optioned years ago before they actually got made. But the studios kept trying to change them. But because they were written for Image Comics and because the people who write for Image Comics own their intellectual property.
Yeah.
Unlike with Marvel and DC, where these writers create these amazing characters and they get a pittance when these characters are turned into TV shows and films, they don't get the money. And I need to really emphasize that because it is a huge issue. Whether you know how much you guys love Static Shock growing up, no one from Milestone saw the amount of money. They saw maybe 1 or 2% of the money that Static Shock made. One of the most popular comic book characters of all time. And they saw maybe 2% of that money. That is a problem. And so with Image, because they wanted to make the old guard, when they wanted to change the races of the characters, when they wanted to make the main character a man instead of a woman, the writer of the book said no. And because he owned his IP and because Image backed him, he was able to walk away. He walked away from multiple studios until they got to Netflix and he was able to pick his director, Gina Prince Bythewood. He was able to pick his cast.
Wonderful.
And because of that, we got not one, but 2 amazing movies.
Yeah.
So also Gina Prince Bythewood is directing Children of Blood and Bone.
Yeah. That's
So said all that to say, because we do need to wrap this up. What do you guys want to see in book 2? You have not gotten to the end.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. What about you?
okay. Again, going back to January, so I'm not too sure off the top of my head. So I'd be hard pressed to answer because I'm in the middle
of remembering,
of trying to remember everything that happened.
What about you?
I would like to see, interestingly, more of a background of the brother who is secluded in.
That's literally what I was going to say. That is what I was going to say.
Something. I mean, when that. I don't
when
know.
When she said that, my brain, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
It's what? How could he?
She's right.
Be there, and yet she knows she's in the desert. She knows how things actually
and change,
shift and change. How could he be there? And yet he can see, and these maps
are so accurate.
Yes. There's I would really love to see more of the background of Hakeem.
That is literally what I was going to say. I want to see more of Hakeem. I want to see what happened while they were gone. Because there's a lot that happens when you get towards the end. Everything
characters.
Yes,
things going on.
We find out something happens towards the end of the book at the same time that they do, and I want to know what happened.
Yeah,
we know why, but I want to know. I want to know what happened on the ground. Like, there's got to be some point of view character who can tell us what was happening there. And I don't believe there's 2 characters who I'm like, they not dead. I don't believe you at all until I see a body and nobody's dead.
Character I'd like to see a little bit more of. It was her landlord.
Oh yes, Dahlia.
Dahlia
was great. There's something about Dahlia.
Gave me an itch too. Like, oh, I'd like to know more about you.
And I think that that's one of the things that Ms. Abdullah does amazingly with this book is even the side characters. You're like, I need to know more about you.
Right.
I want to know more about who you are. Why are you like this? What made you how you been moving in this, how you stayed alive moving in this situation, because there's a lot of excuse me, like just like with Game of Thrones and with Dune and other books, there is a lot of what's on the surface is just that, it's surface level. And you see the danger on the surface, but there's like, yeah, you can see that danger, but what you don't know is that further down there is so much worse happening
all the way to the right.
Yeah, and above you is something else is coming to get you. Yes.
Yeah.
So Dahlia has succeeded through this life for quite some time. So what made her, how did she become so successful? A, and B, what made her choose Luli to basically mentor?
Right.
I would like to see more of her. I'd like to see more of Hakeem. I really want to see where they are currently, because the book ends on a massive cliffhanger. Yeah, surprise.
Yeah, surprise.
It's a massive cliffhanger.
But it's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy, and the second book is already written. So, you guys, last but not least, overall review, what would you give it? 4 or 5 stars? 5 stars? 6 stars?
I'd say about 10.
It is,
again, because it is outside of my normal realm, it is definitely a 4, a good 4, a solid 4. It's not my normal reading world.
Right.
I'll say that.
I love high fantasy and I love mythology. Those are like my 2 things that, because of this lady, I grew up reading. I read, she had me really reading the Iliad at an age I probably shouldn't have been reading the Iliad. And the Odyssey and so many fairy tales. And so this is my wheel. Sci-fi, high fantasy, and mythology is where I live. And so for me, this was a 5 out of 5. There was not one character I did not character out. There was not one character who I didn't empathize with, because even though I cannot stand Omar and I hate what he did, I absolutely understand why he becomes who he is.
Yeah.
Because again, you can't love your kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So many problems in the world, in real life and in fiction, would be resolved if you just loved your children.
And allow them to be
who they are.
Every time I hear you say that, I think about the last part of this is way another area. Abigail, when she tells her, just be there
for your son.
For your son. Just be there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that is such,
if you guys haven't seen Abigail, it's a great horror film. Watch it. It's so good.
It's funny. It's horrible. It's
well written. It's very scary, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a weird combination of all of the things I like: comedy, lots of blood, and extremely well written. And it's very weirdly touching. Very weird. It's a weirdly touching movie. And yes, you're right. And that's what it comes down to. Love your kids. And I think that is one of the major things of this book. You can't, what you've been told is not always what it is. B, don't limit yourself. Be open to the world, because that's something Aisha specifically had to learn, is that she had limited herself. And because she was limiting herself, she was actually more of a prisoner than she thought she was.
Agreed.
She was very much more of a prisoner than she thought she was. She thought she was free. And it's like, no, honey, you on a leash. You might have a long leash, but you're still on a leash.
Yep.
And
the person who pointed that out to her was not the person she would have ever expected to hear that from.
It was by accident. Because then, this is not really a spoiler, but basically Mazine observes that she's way better than she thinks she is. That seems to be a theme that we have running right now in a lot of the media we've been watching, whether it's Farscape or this.
Exactly.
You are better than you think you are.
Exactly.
So I Cannot wait for book 2. You guys come down to Snug Books. Unfortunately, we had to borrow a copy from one of our audience members because, unfortunately, but fortunately, Snug has sold out of every copy of this book that they have.
Yay!
So however, if you want to read it, please come down to Snug Books at 4717 Harford Road, Unit 1C in Baltimore, Maryland. You can come down here and order the book, or you can go online at bookshop.org and you can order from Snug Books. Please support small bookstores and small and independently owned bookstores. Please, please, please. We need them so much, especially right now. Thank you guys for hanging out. It has been a blast, as always.